Damn, Jared. Is that what I'm gonna?
Put some touch-up here.
Is that what I'm gonna? Is that what's happened to mine too?
Yep.
Cause I already touched it. Every time I open it, I was all like, "Oh, it's so close. It's so tight." Like, ah. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel on episode 2 of the build appreciation, and we have Jared's 280Z here. First question is, Jared, how long have you had this build for?
I've had this build for roughly 3 years.
How did this build firstly start?
It started as a shell, and then it morphed into this. Yeah, a lot of time, a lot of progress, a lot of patience, I think most importantly, but sure is fun to drive.
And what do you got under the hood?
Oh, let's take
it
a
looks
look.
like you got a little something in there.
Let's take a look. All right, so we got a 280Z F54 block with some flat top pistons. We got an E88 head from a 240, ported and polished by Ruben over at SoCal Porting. We got the triple Makunis 40s tuned by Takasato, and we got the polish work done by XPT Allen down in Camarillo. Pretty much all factory stuff, but with a little pop to it, right? I wanted to have some fun, but keep it more of a resto mod, but not just straight, NOS, OEM stuff. But overall, it rips pretty good. It's fun to drive. Yeah, definitely a smile maker.
I'm noticing right here you like delete a lot of stuff on here, right?
Yeah, I shaved a lot of the engine bay. I wanted to make it, more, I don't know, not so much stuff hang, holes and whatnot. The battery I put underneath the dash, put some plugs here. Just made it a little more user friendly. I think what made that happen is like half this stuff was rusted out, right? The firewall was gone, so all that stuff had to get replaced. I just kind of went with what I had. It was a clean slate, right? Just kind of went the way I wanted it. Yeah, just wanted to have fun with it. So
it looks really clean, honestly. I like a lot of stuff. It's really shaved out and it flows really well all around.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
How much horsepower are you pushing on this?
I haven't dynoed it yet. Maybe I'll take it down to Z Therapy.
I heard those guys are really good for the dynos, man.
And we'll check it out.
So look what else we got in here. What do you have inside the interior-wise?
All right, so for seats, we got some Porsche 944 seats. My buddy Alex reposted those. We got the 3D printed dash from Hung of vintage dashes. Kept the factory gauges. The guys at Retro Sound got the radio all set up. And then I did the roll bars a while back. I didn't really know how I wanted to do the rear, but I think it came out pretty good, right? So aesthetically, I think it looks good. I don't know how safe it is, but I think it all works out pretty well.
You see, you keep it with the original steering wheel on there as well.
Yeah, I kept the original wheel. I'll probably change that in the future, but for now, I think it flows with the car pretty good.
That concave deep look in there. And interior-wise, what other plans do you have in there?
I think for the most part, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. It's pretty simple. I kind of want to keep it just, plain. Not too much going on. I think the busier it gets, the more it takes away from it, right?
Got the nice roll bar on there. Guys, is that a bolt-on or is that a welded in?
Actually, I bent that in the garage.
Oh, you made that here?
Yeah, I made that here. Did the notches, welded all myself, and bent it here. So.
That's really cool. I like the super clean and simple, and it looks actually pretty functional.
Yeah, it's got that vintage look to it, right?
Yeah, it does. It really does. Man, and one of the main questions I really had for you, man, is like this car is on the ground. What suspension do you have on here?
All right, so I got the BC coilover setup from Cody over at BC Racing. Initially, it was going to run static. And then I realized that speed bumps aren't really friendly to Geno's.
Here in California, you just cannot be static, bro.
No,
I learned that in 3 months. I was all like, yo, I just gotta switch out my setup. I just can't get around here.
Yeah, I mean,
basically these cars with the frame rail sitting so low,
yeah,
you just get
crazy,
stuck
dude.
anywhere.
I mean, even coming out of the driveway, I damaged my my rear flares. But yeah, I ended up putting the Vire screw over, bag over coil stuff. So with the airlift management, so I'm able to raise it at least 7 inches and get the stuff off the ground. And
Just enough to get you by.
Just enough, man.
That's all you need. Just need that enough because I mean, static-wise, you just never enough.
You cannot.
No matter how low
opinion,
you get.
It's gangster, but it's not ideal, right?
No,
if you want to keep your stuff nice.
If you're trying to take care of it in California, just unfortunately you just have to go back with these types of cars because it's just too aggressive.
It's
whether
too
it's
much.
the dips or it's the bumps, it's just something hard to kind of come by. And what else for the wheel wise? What do you have on for the wheels?
So for the wheels, I got some old school Advan A3As. I think they're period correct with the car. I kind of want to say period correct, right? And then I had the 14-inch fascias stepped up to the 16s. Now a lot of people like that. But I wanted to keep it, relatively small, but have a nice wide wheel.
So the centers are what size?
The 14-inch centers, and they stepped up to 16s.
16s?
Yeah.
Like that was actually my first setup. It's crazy and aggressive. And what are the specs on it?
So we went 16 by 12 in the rear and 16 by 11.5 in the front. So with a negative 70 offset in the back.
That's
a 72
aggressive.
offset, and then 68 in the front. Yeah, it's pretty wild, but I like the wide wheels, man. That looks good.
This design definitely fits the year.
And it's fun too, right? Because like the old, Steve was able to spin around the hardware, so it's got the flipped bolts too. Like not a lot of people catch that, but it's a very vintage Shaco style, right?
It definitely flows with it on there. All right, Jared. So I got a question for you. What's up with this 3-piece wing you got going on?
All right. So the 3-piece wing, I forget who sold it. I think I got it off Facebook Marketplace of all places, right? But my buddy Chumpot, he's a local guy who does really good fiberglass work. He's able to mold this all together, make it all fit nice. And I wanted that old Shakotan style period wing, you know, with the flares. I thought it would look good. He was able to actually fix the flares too, that Chumpot. Yeah, I mean, he molded this up, and then I got the, you know, the exhaust here, the twice pipes. I took the bumper off. I kept the speed holes. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it looks freaking great.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think it looks great,
for me,
man.
it was like, I already have it off. I might as well fill in those holes.
Yeah.
On my end, but definitely, like, it gives you that style, that old school feel.
Yeah, I call them speed holes, man.
Speed holes, yeah. Release the
get
air
the air flowing, yeah.
And those twice pipes, who made that twice
So
pipe?
those are from Z Story.
Oh yeah,
the fitment is really good. And it's got that OEM like old school look too. It looks.
It really does. I feel like the Anza type of style.
Yeah, and then the interior, I didn't really do much to the interior. I mean, everything will always need work, right? With cars, you can always improve. But I just did some carpet, stuck the air management in the spare wheel well there, vinyl over the strut towers. Pretty simple stuff.
Honestly, it looks really clean. Everything just kind of fits. And you still got all the gauges on there. Everything still looks.
All factory stuff.
I got a question though. Does that alarm, does that clock work?
No. But it's set at 420, so I think we're good, man.
I gotta lie. Mine is set up the same way. All right, Jerry. So tell me about the Genos. This is definitely a very well-known front end that a lot of S30 owners go with.
It's the best front end. What are you talking
I
about?
gotta lie. I know because I got one myself.
I know. All right, so I got this in Okinawa, Japan when I was overseas, and it had a bunch of speed holes up front here. I actually went with one of the a local body shop up to Naha area, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna help you out and get you a Genos, right? I was like, okay. I had no idea what I was getting into, right? But apparently it came from a flipped over Z car. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, he gave me a very good price. We ended up bringing them back here to the States, finished it up. Yeah, I mean, it's a good story.
What is a good price?
3,000 yen.
Which converts to?
About 30 bucks.
Well, you came up, bro. You came up.
Hey, but you know what? It was really jacked up, and like I said, I mentioned Chumpot there with the spoiler and stuff. But he fixed the whole front end, man. Like, if you look at the side over here, like, there's no way that this stuff would fit the way, you know. Like, these kits, nothing ever fits with fiberglass,
never.
Right? Nothing ever fits.
I'm still working on mine, bro. That body kit, that fiberglass is definitely some work that needs to be done on these kits.
Yeah, in most kits you see out at shows or whatever, it's like you got gaps and whatnot. I mean, this thing is just...
Damn.
I'm happy with
it.
I'm
really good
very
job.
happy with it. So
he hugged everything very properly, and he made it fit really good, honestly. All right, Jared. So what else you got going on over here? Because I see a lot of builds over here, and kind of haven't filled me in on what you got going over here.
Let's take a hike.
Go. Definitely a hike. All right, Jared. So your garage up. I had to know what's going on here. What do you have in the works? Because it seems like something super insane.
This is the 521. It's 1972. Usually these things come about, 2-3 feet off the ground. They're crazy high. This thing also sat for a little bit too, right? Until I figured out what I want to do with it. So I ended up cutting all the suspension out, putting bags in there. I thought it looked better with the frame on the ground, so we started there, right? Cut as much as out we could. Did a bag over bar set up in the rear end here. Still working out some geometry stuff, and you really need the wheels to be able to really dial that stuff in. So Matt over at Left 20B's got those right now. But for the meantime, I did up some steel bands just to kind of get the geometry for the most part working with the way I wanted to with the axle movement forward and back. So we're kind of waiting there for install. But in the meantime, I got kind of bored. Decided to convert it to right-hand drive. So I found the dash was relatively symmetrical. A little cutting here and there, and some welding, and then some fabrication up front, and I was able to convert it to right-hand drive. So normally they come manual, but now we're gonna have power steering, and I'll be able to shorten the column, whatever, right, like where I want the steering wheel to sit. So for the most part, like, it's gonna be quite an upgrade from where it came from, right?
So right-hand drive wasn't part of the startup?
No, it wasn't part of the plan, but I seen these two pockets right here, and I was like, oh my god, they're symmetrical. So I figured, you know what, let's just cut it up and try it, right? What's the worst that could happen? I have to weld it back up. Yeah, it'll be unique, it'll be one of a kind, because usually you see trucks rolling around, they're wide and whatnot, but this one will definitely be one of a kind.
I really like it, honestly. I see a lot of custom stuff going on over here. What are you dropping on here?
So I'm gonna end up putting this L20 in here. I ended up punching out the bottom end 20 over, redid the head, and again, Alan over at XPT and Camarillo polished a lot of stuff like he did the Z car. But yeah, I actually tested it here on the engine stand. It runs good. So once that goes in, it's not gonna be a crazy power, but it'll be a fun, unique car.
And it's gonna definitely fit its gear and everything.
It'll be factory, somewhat period correct, and I think this actually came with the L18, but we'll put the L20 in. It'll be a good engine.
Nice, and we see you got the seats already on here going on as well.
Yep, so the guy that did the Z car seats, Alex, he's a local guy, he ended up doing all the upholstery on this too, the same button style, the old like 70s look. I just kind of want to keep it simple again, more of a resto mod, but have it, updated and kind of modern.
You got pretty much all the rest of the interior going on here?
I still need to do the
OEM?
No, I have the OEM door cards, but I'll have to redo those, the upholstery on those. But yeah, just paint the dash and get the vinyl on the door cards, and it's pretty much done. Carpet. The simple stuff is it's simple, right?
Fair, yeah.
The hard part is like the suspension, you know, and getting the paint done, which that stuff takes time and patience.
I mean, honestly, for the most part, it looks like you got a very clean shell all around. It's pretty smooth.
Yep, it was a desert truck. So I mean,
Found in a desert?
Actually, this is actually another gift, right?
I was like, yo.
So the Datsun was a shell, right? From helping out some guy. And then another friend of mine I've known since a while back. He's like, you know what? You're gonna do something cool with this. You just have the truck.
No way.
I don't know if they'll tell him I'm sorry or thank you. Like I was like, So thank you, Anson, if you're watching this. I'm grateful very much for the truck.
You're definitely doing something crazy with this build.
You got to make it unique, right? If you're doing something, someone trusts you with their gift. I think it's appropriate to make it crazy, right?
Yes.
So I think the hardest part is going to be like swapping over the wipers, and just a little the creature comfort items, like that actually finish the car. Those are going to be the hard ones, I think. But for the most part, the truck's done.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that. I know the original owner that I bought the Datsun from told me, if you ever decide to sell this car, I'm gonna buy it back from you.
Yeah.
If you only know what I did to the Datsun, he'd probably flip.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? They have no idea how much time and labor and money.
The guy would probably flip if I told him, like, hey, you want to buy the car back, and it's in the state it is, he'd probably just go crazy. But yeah, man, like I said, this is definitely one of the crazy builds. And when do you think you're gonna be finished with this?
God, I think it's dependent on the wheels. I'm sorry, Matt. But June was the target goal. Again, that depends on paint and wheels. I mean, that's really what's holding it up right now, right? So I wouldn't say holding it up. It's just, like I said, it takes time with cars, right?
It's one of the big parts.
It's a process. You got to just work with it for the most part. I mean, the truck wouldn't have been right-hand drive if that didn't.
And it happened.
Right? And it happened, so it's going to make it even more unique.
It happened for a reason.
It did happen for a reason. So I think this is going to be really fun to drive, like when it's done. It's definitely going to be a head turner. And I don't know. And also, when you build something like this, when you turn that key, there's nothing like that feeling, right? For the first time, turning something on, like I freaking made this,
Yeah, it came out of my garage.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
It's super crazy, honestly. You're definitely going to the extreme on this build. For sure, it's on the ground. You can't go any lower, that's for sure. And like I said, if you get it done by this year, I think people are going to be really happy to see this finally out on the road and see how you actually put your vision into reality on here.
So the other one that I recently did was this Mazda RX-7. I did this a couple years back. Again, this is another one of those shells, right, that someone was trying to get rid of.
Another one?
I'm sorry, man.
All these are just shells.
No, it's people throwing away their problems, I think. And I'm just like, you know what? I'll make freaking
some people's treasure, other people's treasure, right? That's what they always said, bro.
Yeah, so I did the cage in this one. Put a 240 S13 dash in here if you want to check that out. The race pack and the Haltech setup. Andrew Molina down at Animal Auto ended up tuning this car. This thing rips. It's pretty good. It does 490 to the wheels on pump gas. So pump gas, right? So I wanted something to be quick, go out to Grange, pump in the gas, just be easy, man. Not have to worry about ethanol and whatnot.
This really looks like it's touched up on almost every way possible. Whether the over fenders, front end. Since you got a Haltech setup on there, what do you have under the hood?
Okay, let's check out that.
It seems like it's something pretty crazy.
So it didn't have an engine. I said it was a shell. Usually they come with the rotaries, but I came across a Series 2 RB25, and I was like, you know what? Why not, right? So
where'd you get that RB from?
That actually was at the same shop that the Z car was at, and he was unloading it. So he's like, you want the engine? I was like, okay. You want the car? Okay. The engine I paid for.
The engine
was a good deal.
You had to swipe for that one?
Yeah, I had to swipe the card for that one for sure. But I went with the Comp 6262 turbo, the Plasma Man intake manifold, and the throttle body, LS coils, the Mishimoto radiator, the intercooler, all the other coolers, So
this is just perfectly built, literally just for what it's meant for, because you got all the cooling system. And the engine wise, how much power are you pushing?
It's 490 the wheels. That was the top end that Andrew did, but we put it back to 450. So it runs at 450 on pump gas, and that way it keeps it nice and cool, not gonna freaking run hot.
And how was putting RB on the FC? How was that process?
It was a little interesting, right? Because I had to lower the power steering rack because the front sump oil pan it hit, right? So I had to lower it 2 inches, and then I ran DOM tubing up to the side of the engine and kind of made that 10-degree tilt that comes from Nissan, right? Kept it all the stock settings, if you will. Yeah, and then I just welded it in, just made it happen.
Honestly, it really looks like it just fits in perfectly. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen many FCs with RBs, and this is definitely one of the cleanest ones I've ever seen.
Well, if you ever find one, let me know, because I haven't seen one yet. But what's cool about this, the FC, is that the bell housing is so freaking huge, right? So you can literally pull the transmission back, change the clutch and throw the transmission back in.
Without having to drop anything?
Nothing, man. The freaking bell housing's huge in there, like the tunnel tip. Like,
So what transmission do you have
the
on
bell
here?
housing, the trans tunnel.
But what do you? What kind of transmission do you have on this?
Just the stock RB trans, the 5-speed.
So it's just direct all the way through?
Yep, it's direct all the way through, huge trans tunnel. Yep, you pull the transmission out, change the clutch, and put it back in.
Can we hear a rip?
Yeah, can we hear this?
Let's hear a rip.
Yeah, let's hear
Okay,
it.
that's fine. Hey, the best part about this turbo though is the friggin' wheel, man. I love that thing.
All the FC guys are gonna be mad on this one.
So I'm sorry, Rotary guys. It didn't have an engine. I found an engine. Please forgive me.
It worked out.
It worked out, man.
It looks dope. Like, it looks, honestly, it looks better in pictures. I mean, better than pictures. Better than pictures. Because I never seen it in person.
It's crazy, yeah.
I've been trying to catch
the
it.
pictures don't do it justice, I think.
It doesn't at all. It looks even lower in person than it does on pictures. The only thing I will tell you that I definitely would like to see on that car will be the SE Marshall headlights. That's the only thing, just because
I'll have to check those out.
it just looks
Check
so
'em out.
sick. They just look so sick, man, with the little cat in the middle, you know? You're like, go check them out.
We'll
I know,
check 'em
I know
out.
you got plugs in Japan for your build, bro. I know you got plugs in Japan to get those headlights.
Yeah, we got a little carried away, huh?
Yeah, we
We're
did.
trying to focus on the Z, and all
I
of a sudden
know.
we're wrapping
Alright.
off the throttle.
Hey,
here.
bro, we gotta show all the builds over here. You know what I mean? You got a lot of stuff going on here. You got a lot of crazy cool builds that you build yourself that no one really knows about. You know, maybe they're building something similar.
Yeah,
and,
maybe.
You know, get some kind of inspiration from what you got going on.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to have fun.
We're all trying to have fun, bro. You already know.
Thanks,
Definitely
Oscar.
love this setup right here, man. Like I said, it got a lot of potential going on, and I definitely want everybody to know what you got in the works here, man. Hakone Motorsports. The question is, the next first show comes up, you're gonna be at the booth.
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. Maybe my car won't be there, but your car will.
You just have to finish yours, all right?
I
And then we're
know.
gonna have them both there.
I
How's
know,
that?
that'd be sick.
Motivation.
I think people go crazy over that, both of our setups. I know we were talking about putting our cars together for what, 2 years,
I
3
think
years?
2 years, yeah.
At least 2 years. It would touch like, hey, what's up with your car? What's up with your car? My car is done. My car is not. So
It'll get there.
it'll get there. It'll get
It's
there.
that patience piece we were talking about.
Old cars, man, just so much patience on them. You know?
It's worth it.
It's worth it at the end. Like every time I look at the garage and I see my car, I'm just like, it's going the right route.
It is.
That's all that matters. As
It's
long as
close,
going-
man.
But let's definitely lock it up. Let's go do some rollers and let's see what your car is about.
Let's do it.